in continuation to my previous video of Rahu in different houses. So we are going to talk about the transit of Ketu in 12 houses. We all are eager to know about this transit as it is happening on 31st October 2023. And Ketu works totally different to the way Rahu is working, because where Rahu is a planet of expansion, Rahu is all about material wants. Ketu is about detachments. It teaches you to become more disciplined, more spiritual, more hardworking, related to the house wherever it is going. That house will get activated through the sign that is happening in that house. So for all of us, Ketu is going to the sign of Virgo on 31st October 2023. So it is going to express itself in terms of practical sense, because Virgo is a earthy sign. So Ketu will express itself practically when it enters this sign. And that house, wherever it is falling, that house will become activated in terms of your efforts and in terms of your discipline through this transit. So in nutshell, Ketu does very well in 3rd house, 6th house and 11th house, because these three houses are the ones which are indicating your efforts. So if a planet like Ketu is sitting in this house, it means that you are already going to put lots of efforts in those houses, because they demand efforts, and Ketu is putting more efforts through its transit in those houses. So you will get very good results in these three houses, and it gives you lots of material gains. But in other houses, how does it behave? I'm going to tell you through this video. So friends, lots of us may have the same ascendant and the same moon sign. So for us, the results are very strongly felt with the house wherever Ketu or Rahu are falling. But most of us will have a different moon sign. So from the moon sign, Ketu will be in a different house, but from your ascendant, Ketu will be in a different house. Both things can be applied in your chart. But from the moon sign, it will affect you mentally. But from your ascendant, it will affect you physically in the practical sense. Now, without delaying further, let's talk about the transit of Ketu in the sign of Aries. So friends, for the Aries sign, Ketu is going to your 6th house. It is a very good transit. So it shows that if you have to come out of your diseases, you have to put in some efforts and you have to be disciplined. Only then it will bring you out of your problems. It is a very good placement to win over the court cases which you have been fighting so far. So it will give you a victory. It is a very good placement for those children who are fighting competitions. They will be victorious with this. And it is teaching you to be careful with respect to your vehicles, because it is a fiery sign and the 6th house is the house of accidents. So it is teaching you to be disciplined on that regard. The 6th house Ketu can give you some digestive complaints, but this placement is also going to give you lots of applause, lots of appreciation for your work, and you will get lots of rewards during this time. So for your work progress, it is very good, because you are going to be very focused and dedicated. But this placement will give you some minor digestive complaints throughout the transit of 1.5 years, as it stays in a sign for this tenure. Now let's talk about the Taurus sign, and Ketu is happening in your 5th house. So friends, the 5th house Ketu is good for certain things. Like if you are wanting to study some technology, you will excel in that. If you are going to do some research, you will excel in that. But it is also teaching the students to become more disciplined. It is teaching you to leave all the gadgets behind, to leave all the things which are giving you happiness, which are giving you some entertainment, and become more focused in your studies. And after that, it will give you very good results. This placement of Ketu is telling you to be more disciplined in your love matters, to become more disciplined with respect to your children matters. Those of us who are wanting to have a baby may have to show themselves to a doctor, or some discipline is required on that regard, and post that they will have a baby. Ketu is also surgical knife, so it can give you a cesarean baby. So many things can come out of it. Now we'll talk about the Gemini sign, and Ketu is happening in your 4th house. So friends, here it is going to make you very detached from your domestic atmosphere. You may be more towards studies, and you may be more inclined towards having your peace of mind. So you may sit in sadhana, sit in meditation for long period of time. It can give you some chest related problems or heart related complaints. It is teaching you to be more disciplined on that regards. If you are wanting to sell property, this is a very good transit, and because it is teaching you to be detached, so it will detach you from your land, so you can sell off your property through this. And this placement is also teaching you to become more technically sound. You may want to study more technology, and it will give you good results after that. Now we'll talk about the transit of Ketu for the Cancer sign. For you, Ketu is happening in your third house. So the third house transit is very good. It will give you name, fame, wealth, and you will be very focused with whatever you are doing, and your efforts will be fruitful. It can give you short journeys also, and this placement can give you some concerns related to your younger siblings. Overall, it's a very good transit, and you get to travel, and you get success out of your hard work. Now we'll talk about the transit of Ketu for the Leo sign. For you, Ketu is in the second house. So second house transit can give us some stress. So it can give some excessive expenditure, as the second house is the house of the wealth. And Ketu being a malefic, it will cause some outflow of wealth. You can have some problems related to your eyes or your teeth. You may have to live away from your family due to some reasons. And you have to keep a check on your eating habits, because you may be prone to eating stale food or skipping meals. So that will not do you good. So it is teaching you to become more disciplined in terms of your food habits and in terms of what you speak. So that is also shown through this transit. Now we'll talk about the Virgo sign. For you, Ketu is in your ascendant. So this is teaching you to focus on your own growth, for your focus on your own self, because your focus is on your own self. So you will have some difficulties in managing your married life. Your married partner or your partner will have some complaints related to you, but you cannot help it, because this transit is teaching you to become more disciplined about your own self. So health will be a concern during this time, and money will also come with some blockages, because the first house is also the trine house, and Ketu will definitely give you wealth, but will with some blockages. This is how it is working here. Now for the Libra sign, Ketu is in your 12th house. So friends, 12th house Ketu will cause some discomforts to you, because the 12th house is about comforts. It can also give you opportunities to travel abroad, and it can give you some disturbance in your sleep pattern. This placement can also make you more sinful if there is no benefic aspect falling in the on Ketu. It will increase your expenditures, and it can also make you more adhyatmic, more spiritual during this period. If there are some benefits, then you can do really well with this transit. So you have to focus on the 12th house activities during this transit. We'll talk about the Scorpio sign. Ketu is in your 11th house. It's a very good transit for you. So you will win out of your court cases. You will have lots of wealth coming through this, and your efforts will be very fruitful during this time. And you have to be careful about your elder siblings' health. Your friends can also give you support during this time. You can have gains coming through people who are in the occult field, or people who are very spiritual. And you can also have a gain coming through social media or through technology. And Ketu will give you lots of wealth during this time. Now we'll talk about the Sagittarius sign. For you, Ketu is in your 10th house. So this can give you some back related problems, some knee related problems, and it is teaching you to be more disciplined about your posture. This placement can cause some shift in your job. You may change your job, or you may have some change in your department. If you are already doing Ketu related work, like you are doing some occult work, spiritual work, technology work, fine machinery work, then or legal work, then it is very good transit for you. Otherwise, it can make you change your job. So now we'll talk about the Capricorn sign. For you, Ketu is in your 9th house. So it can teach you to be more disciplined where your education, higher education is concerned. For that, you will have to put in more efforts. You may want to study in a foreign land, but more efforts are required there. You may get an opportunity to travel through this placement to a long, far off place, or it can give you opportunity to travel to a pilgrimage also. You will have an inclination to study spiritual subject or technical subject during this transit. Father's health may need some discipline or some kind of efforts you will require on that. So otherwise it's okay transit for you. So wealth will come after some efforts, and this is how it is working. We'll talk about the Aquarius sign. For you, Ketu is in your 8th house. So this placement is not considered good. So it will cause excessive expenditure. It can also cause loss of valuables. Be careful about your valuables and sudden outburst. And it can also give some urinary problems or problems related to private parts. And it can also cause detachment from your family due to some reason or the other. You may have to live away from your family, and wealth wise also you will find it very hard to contain wealth. But those of us who are doing research work or doing some occult studies will prosper with this transit. So you will be able to go deeper into any form of such studies, and you will have something valuable coming out of your research work. We'll talk about the Pisces sign. For you, Ketu is in your 7th house. Not a good transit in your personal sense. So you will have to understand your spouse better. You will have to be more disciplined in terms of your relationship with your partners or with your spouse. But this transit can give you opportunities to travel to foreign lands or to have some foreign travels. This transit can give some health related concerns to your partner or some health related concerns to your own self. So it can give you some stress during this time. So you will feel more obsessed about your businesses, but it will require lots of discipline. And post that, you will be able to fix things up in these areas of your life. So friends, these were some of the things which I wanted to share with you regarding the transit of Ketu. Stay connected, and very soon I will bring something new for you. Till then, all the best and goodbye, friends.